Hey, is this Sonic Tax and IRS advice? I was just trying to see if y'all could help me with my taxes again this year.
Great to hear from you. Yeah, of course I can help you out with your tax return. Go ahead and send any tax documents you got for 2025 so far in the client portal that we used last year. And were there any big changes that happened in 2025?
Well, over last summer, my wife left me, so is that going to change anything for my tax return?
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry to hear that. It depends if you were still legally married on the last day of the tax year, so December 31st, 2025. If you were separated by that time, since you don't have any kids, you can't file as head of household, so your filing status will be single. If the divorce wasn't finalized legally by the end of the year, then you would still have to file as your status for 2025, which was married, and you'd file as married filing jointly or married filing separately.
Oh yeah, the attorney cost me an arm and a leg, but we got all that finished up before the end of the year. How does my filing status impact if I owe or get a refund or anything?
Your filing status determines the amount of standard deduction that you get. When you file as married filing jointly, which you've been filing as you've been married, you get the highest standard deduction amount. In 2025, it's around $31,000. It goes up every year to match inflation. And if you're single, your standard deduction amount is around $15,000.
I'm gonna be honest, Sonic Tax, I have no idea what the standard deduction means or what it does. I remember you explaining it in previous years, but it got completely lost on me.
Totally understandable. So on your tax return, all your income gets added up that you made throughout the year to total for your adjusted gross income, which is known as your AGI. From your AGI, you get your standard deduction or itemized deduction amount is subtracted to get to your taxable income amount. Tax deductions, like the standard deduction, they lower your taxable income amount, which is the base on which your federal tax gets calculated. The lower your taxable income, the lower your federal taxes. A deduction is different from a tax credit. A deduction lowers down your adjusted gross income and taxable income.
Well, I guess that makes sense that I get half the deduction because I won't have my ex-wife's income on the tax return as well. It'll only be my income. The deduction sounds great. How can I get as much of that as possible?
The standard deduction amounts are pretty set. You can get an additional amount if you're a senior or you're disabled. But one of the changes for 2025 is that if you have car loan interest, that's something that you can take in addition to the standard deduction. You may have heard of itemized deductions, which get you a deduction amount higher than the standard deduction, but the only people that can itemize are that have a total higher than their standard deduction amount made up of property taxes, mortgage interest, charitable deductions, unreimbursed medical and dental expenses, and there's some other items included in that. But really, after the 2018 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, which raised the standard deduction for most taxpayers on all filing statuses, it made it so that most people can't get above the standard deduction. It's hard to get totals higher than that in itemized receipts. So we can talk more on that if you're interested another time, but you're most likely taking the standard deduction. And with the way tax software works, you don't really have to worry about coming up with these numbers. As long as you know your filing status, the tax software will usually do this for you. So it's not like you have to memorize these numbers and do calculations.
I guess that does make sense for now. I'm sure I'm going to be calling you with more questions, so talk to you soon.
Glad to help, and I hope you're doing okay. But just remember to let anyone know if they have any questions. Feel free to message me on social media or check out my website anytime. Sonic Tax and IRS Advice. And have a good day. I'll talk to you later.